Imagine a place where, according to a shocking report from the United Nations, one child is killed every 3 days. This place is not a war zone in the traditional sense, but for the children living there, the threat of violence is a daily reality. In Palestine, a territory smaller than the state of Delaware, the regularity of child fatalities is not just alarming, it's devastating. The violence, often perpetrated by forces beyond their control, shatters young lives and leaves lasting scars on their communities. The severity of this situation cannot be overstated. Every life lost is a tragedy. Every child's fear is a call for justice. And yet the world often turns a blind eye, desensitized by the frequency of such news. This is not a dystopian fiction. It's the harsh reality of children in Palestine. As we delve deeper into this unsettling reality, let's remember the urgency and importance of addressing this issue. Hearing from those who have lived through this nightmare adds a layer of undeniable credibility to these statistics. We've all heard the numbers, we've seen the images, but the true horror of the situation is best understood through the words of those who have endured it. The gravity of this crisis is reflected in the stories of survivors, witnesses, and human rights advocates who have been brave enough to share their experiences. Imagine a child, barely old enough to comprehend the world around them, yet forced to face the stark reality of war. This child, like so many others, has seen their simple joys replaced with the brutalities of conflict. Their innocence stolen as they struggle to make sense of the chaos unfolding around them. Or consider the adults who carry the burden of protecting their families amidst the violence. Picture a mother, her heart heavy with fear and uncertainty as she shields her children from the relentless onslaught. Or a father, his spirit battered yet resolute, as he attempts to provide a semblance of normalcy for his loved ones. Witnesses to these atrocities, often human rights advocates, carry the weight of these stories with them. Their accounts of the indiscriminate violence, the disregard for human life, are chilling. They have seen firsthand how the conflict has torn communities apart, leaving scars that may never fully heal. And then there are the survivors, those who have faced the horrors of this conflict and lived to tell the tale. Their stories are testament to the resilience of the human spirit, a beacon of hope amidst the darkness. Yet, their narratives are also a stark reminder of the immense suffering that continues to be endured. Each of these testimonials represents a unique perspective, a personal experience that underscores the indiscriminate nature of this tragedy. Children, adults, witnesses, survivors, their voices unite in a heart-wrenching chorus, painting a grim picture of the reality on the ground. These are not isolated incidents, but a relentless onslaught that has become a part of their daily life. In the face of such atrocities, the question arises, what is the world doing about it? The International Court of Justice, known as the World Court, has indeed grappled with this pressing issue. The court, which handles disputes between nations, examined the situation thoroughly. Their findings? They concluded that some acts committed were indeed in violation of international law. Yet the aftermath of this decision is where things get interesting. Despite the court's ruling, the international response has been, quite frankly, underwhelming. Sanctions, limited. Condemnations, few and far between. The court's decision, while significant, has unfortunately not spurred the sweeping changes we might have hoped for. Instead, the world seems to have largely turned a blind eye, allowing the situation to continue unabated. This begs the question, is international law simply a paper tiger without the teeth to enforce its own rulings? Justice, it seems, remains elusive for the victims of this ongoing tragedy. While the situation might seem bleak, there's always something we can do. Let's not underestimate the power of action, even when it seems small. Each one of us has a role to play. We can raise awareness, we can educate ourselves and others, we can stand together against injustice. You can use your platforms, no matter how big or small, to spread the word. We can also support organizations that are working tirelessly to provide aid to the victims, to fight for justice, to bring the truth to light. Every penny, every hour volunteered, every post shared contributes to the collective effort. Remember, the world changes when we refuse to stay silent in the face of injustice. When we choose to raise our voices, to amplify the voices of those who have been silenced, we make a difference. Subscribe to our channel, like this video, and share it with your friends. Together, we can be a voice for the voiceless.